All right, guys, we are live. Sorry about that. I was arguing with YouTube on chat. They yelled out some of my videos. So, story of our life, right? Let's see who's in the chat. Let's see. We have Night Stalker. What's up, man? Flying Rich. Frank, it's always good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I called Tools. He's like, man, I'm washing my hair. Tools is like, I'm washing my hair. I don't have time. He's like, I don't have time to be going live twice a week. I go, man, one of your lives is like 5 of mine put together. So he got a chuckle out of that. Let's see. M. Gabriel, what's up? Roger Stewart, what's up? Mike McClune. Nice. B-Noise, of course, man. Of course. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. That is now my favorite screen name. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. All right. I like it. C Wolf, what's up, man? All right. I don't know how many of you guys are in Texas, but the humidity finally went down here and it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather. So I'm probably going to shoot at an outdoor range Saturday and Sunday because it's just so nice. Let's see. Mr. H, MRH, you got your Vesca? Yes, I got my Vesca right here. Okay, hold on. All right, so this guy from Google support is saying that's why we only allow creators to request human reviews, yellow icon. Our reviewers then assess the video, blah, blah, blah. Your videos will remain yellow. Whatever, man. Whatever. It's the life of a YouTuber. They suck, man. These YouTube, I don't know. They're not very cool to work with. They don't really care about working with you. So let's see. Let me shut this window. All right. What's up? Brandon Huron, what's going on? Nice, man. I'm glad we got, I know YouTube does kind of, they have a lot of shenanigans going on. Santiago, what's up? Now, I'm not going to tell you who the guest is tonight, but let's see if you guys could take a hint. Just in case you guys can't take a hint. You guys know I'm a freak for sticky holsters. And so I asked my good buddy Eric to come back on and just chit chat tonight, pick his brain a little bit, see what's new. So without further ado, my man, Eric from Sticky Holster. What's up?
How's it going? Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise, man. So you had the coof last time I talked to you.
Yeah, I did. It took me almost 2 years to get it. So
I know, me too. I got it like a week after you got it. And I'm like, thanks a lot, man. You gave it to me over the phone. So how was it?
It wasn't bad. I pretty much slept for 2 days and was fine after that.
Oh, no kidding. Dude,
Yeah,
that's
I didn't
awesome.
have high fever. I just was really tired.
Yeah.
But I lost smell and taste for about probably 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
But that was really the only symptoms that I had. That's how I figured it out, was I couldn't smell all of a sudden. So
yeah, you want to hear something crazy? So I lost my smell and taste like 8-9 years ago, and I thought it was just because of my wife's cooking. I'm just kidding. Kidding. In case she's watching. And it's been very dull since then. And so when I got COVID, I didn't really notice the smell or taste because nothing new.
yeah.
But when I got over it, it kind of reset my senses. So now everything tastes delicious. Man, like a Dr. Pepper tastes like just so sweet now. It's amazing. It's like,
Wow,
plus
that's
one for COVID. It helped me.
beneficial side effect.
Well, I don't know. I've been eating so much crap now. Like, I don't know. But I was down for about 2 weeks.
I've had a couple buddies that it's put them on their butt for a while. So
Yeah, we got tactical girth, as you said
yeah,
last time. I've been saying that all. I'm gonna get some shirts made that say tactical girth.
I'm actually the only person in our entire company that's had it.
No kidding.
Yeah. We never shut down. We continued working. Everybody came to work as normal during the pandemic, and I'm the only one to get it so far. Knock on wood.
Do you know how you got it?
No idea.
Huh.
I was up in Wisconsin visiting my grandparents and driving home. I was like, I can't smell anything.
That's not good.
So, but yeah, like pretty much my entire family got it that week, and everybody was fine.
Oh, even your grandparents?
Grandparents got it.
Nice. I mean, nice that they're okay.
Extended family. My parents had it, and everybody was fine in a couple days.
Do you take a lot of multivitamins and stuff?
No.
Oh, dude,
I'm just me.
My wife made the mistake and she got me the gummy vitamins, and you're only supposed to take like 3 a day, but they're delicious. So I take like 10. I go through a whole month supply in like a week and a half. She gets really upset at me, but they're delicious. They don't buy delicious vitamins. I won't eat all of them. But
that's funny.
I think that's what saved me. So what's new in the world of sticky holster?
Well, since the last time we spoke, we launched an entire new holster product line, and the way the industry's going. So with optics and handgun manufacturers now providing optics cut handguns directly from the factory and even optics on the handguns, we decided to launch a production optics ready line of holsters. Now we've been making optics ready. There you go. We've been making optics ready holsters out of our custom shop for, before I started working for the company, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So there just wasn't that demand to actually put it into a full production line. But
red dots are catching on like crazy.
Yeah, it's the new thing in firearms right now.
I think it's going to be like that forever. I think it's just going to transition like 80-20. You'll have some traditionalists that want to use iron sights, but I think everything's going red dot.
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve. I've been shooting more with an optic to try and get better at it. There's definitely some training gaps. And, I've been watching some of my, some videos on YouTube too about, presentation and stuff like that to kind of help me. But it's I haven't been shooting with an optic very long, but there's definitely a lot of pros. There are some cons to it. But I can definitely see why people would choose optics. And I think a lot of it is not switching is, one, the balance between the pros and cons. Two is you have to put some serious time behind the gun to get really good with an optic. So
100%. Because I watched that. I'm sure you've seen the same video with Colion Noir where he's at a training facility. And this guy's having him run through drills with his optic. Mm-hmm. And I got an XDM Elite 9mm it comes with the optic. Mm-hmm. And I've been carrying with a sticky holster all the time. And, getting used to an optic took about 4 range trips just to get that sight acquisition first. I mean, it's tough. It's a lot of practice. And there's only one complaint I have with carrying with an optic. Not the holster, but I get like every 2 weeks, I got to get a little Q-tip and clean all the lint out of the
lens.
Out of the optic because it just gets so. I mean, I'm husky, all right. I sweat.
Like I said, there's definitely pros and cons to everything. One thing it might do is it might force you to clean your gun more regularly because people don't realize how much dust, lint, and stuff gets on your gun just from carrying it. Just your body oils and stuff will have an effect on the gun. So, might actually help you with your weapons maintenance. But yeah, I mean, your first couple times you're really, searching for that.
You're fishing.
Yeah. So that's real key. That front sight is people who shot with iron sights only that front sight coming up, it's kind of your natural point of aim. You're right there. Everything's good. But because the optic is now much more elevated above your bore, your natural point of aim kind of shifts a little bit and things like that. But
I mean, I watched this one drill again with Coleon where the guy was like, okay, if you bring the gun up and you don't have that red dot, don't take the shot. And then just keep going. I'm like, dang, man, because when I shoot, I don't have a very good draw. I go up instead of push out. So I'm always kind of fishing around, and now it's forcing me to push out with the weapon instead of go up. So it's a process. I want to go take some more lessons. I want to go find someone that's really good with red dots and take lessons. But once that red dot is on target, man, it is like butter. It's so easy. You can put that target 25 yards out and group amazing groups. It's almost like cheating.
Yeah, and obviously with them, you have different MOA dots and different reticles and things like that. You got to find what works for you. I found that just a simple dot works best for me without, like Holosun has almost like the EOTech reticle, right? That's a little bit too much for me. It's too much light inside my field of view, kind of obscures some other things. So I like a simple single dot on my, and let's be honest, concealed carry pistol. I mean, I'm not going to be shooting farther than 20 yards anyways. So
100%,
realistically, right.
Well, it's
pretty
funny,
bad situations if I'm taking 25-yard shots with my concealed carry handgun. So
you never know, man. You never know. No. I was getting frustrated with this. The first time I took it, I was getting frustrated. And the guy next to me, some random guy, was like, hey, without even looking through the sight, shoot that target at 15 yards. And I still grouped all my shots without not even aiming inside the target. So I'm like, all right, okay. So even if I rush the shot, I'm probably going to hit what I'm aiming at within 10 yards.
Yeah, that's a common thing, actually, in self-defense situations is, I mean, you can interview thousands of cops that have been in officer-involved shootings, and, part of their interviews and stuff with, the investigation was, how many rounds do you fire? Most of them don't have a clue. They'll shoot the gun dry. Or do you remember putting your sights on the threat? A lot of it is point shooting. A lot of officer-involved shootings are real up close anyways. But it's a very common thing. And a lot of actual rounds go into the suspect's hands because they're so threat-focused, right? We look at the hands, if they have a weapon. They're so zeroed in on that threat that in a lot of officer-involved shootings that the hands are actually struck.
I watch a lot of that donut operator. I watch a ton of his videos, and some of them, I mean, those cops just unload the whole magazine, the whole mag dump.
Yeah. Well, you keep shooting until the threat's no longer a threat.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I've seen a lot of so-called dead guys move. So, but yeah, that's what we train to, shoot till there is no threat. So, but you're still
100%. That's what I tell my wife. If anybody comes in the house, just shoot until you're out of bullets. And she's got a 33 round Glock mag in a carbine. So if you're out of bullets, you should be good by that time. By the time you run out of 33 rounds, you should be okay.
Yeah, as long as those rounds are impacting where they're intended to impact, because you're still responsible for every round that leaves that barrel.
I know. That's the only thing that bums me out is outside my front door is my neighbors across the street. And I like my neighbors. I don't want to shoot them. So it's like, I don't know. It's tricky. Because there's a threat coming through the door. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, that's always the thing, right? Know your target, what's between you and your target, and what's behind your target.
Yeah.
So that's where like over penetration and things like that, shooting 62 grain green tip 5.56 when your neighbor is like 10 feet away, probably not the best choice of ammunition there, or 10 mil, something like that.
And I'm a 10 mil fanatic.
I know you are.
Are you too?
No.
God, I love that.
But I know you are.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, real quick in the chat, what do you carry your pistols in, your EDC? Let's do a brand checklist real quick. What is your holster, your preferred holster? I've converted a few people to sticky holster because it's like anything. Once you try it, it's phenomenal. And it's something too is I've shown a lot of people the sticky holster. I'm like, well, I don't put it in my pocket. I go, you don't have to put it in your pocket. I've never put a sticky holster in my pocket. I always put it in my waistband.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they a lot of people have no clue that you can just throw it in your waistband and you're fine.
Yeah, we tell people give it a shot. And I've been around firearms my entire life. I've carried ever since I was legally able to carry. And like anything, I tell people, if you just have one holster, you're probably wrong, because I don't just have one pair of shoes. Can wear the same shoes to go running in, to a wedding, things like that. They all have different purposes.
Oh, that's such a good analogy.
So, I work for sticky holsters. Before that, I worked in the gun industry. I, like everybody else, have any massive holster collection, because I have quite a few handguns and I have at least one, if not 4 or 5 holsters for each handgun, because I don't want to limit myself on what I can carry based on the holster, because what dictates what gun I carry is going to be situation, my activity, where am I going, what am I wearing, and what activity am I participating in,
right?
Or threat level, right? So I don't want to limit the tool. I don't want to limit which tools I can take based on how I'm going to carry that tool. So I have lots of different holsters for all my guns. I have obviously sticky, some other ones. I have couple crossbreed holsters, another great company, great American made products, tier 1. I have a couple tier 1 holsters, a couple G-code holsters. For my other things, I have, level 3 Safariland holsters, things like that. So, I wouldn't be, I've gotten calls, hey, can I use this as a drop leg holster? No, you cannot. Well, you can, but I don't recommend it,
Right.
So you wouldn't use a screwdriver to bang in a nail. So
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's look in the chat. So B Noise has a GT3 and a sticky. I converted him. Frank's got just a Kydex. Mr. H has a Bravo. Jeff has a Lynxie's belly band. Never heard of that. Night Stalkers has a sticky. Nice. I talk about stickies all the time. I think I make people sick. Tenacore. A locked and loaded custom. Never heard of that. Let's see. Bravo Concealment, Kydex. Everything Smash just showed was that WTW. Sorry, I don't know. Oh, Hootie Who? I don't know. Hootie Who blocked me. Let's see. There's HK. All right. So it looks like everyone uses just kind of like a variety. Like I just hooked up with Crossbreed actually, and I've been using some of their holsters to review and stuff, and I like them, but I mean, I just really like the convenience. I always go back to the sticky just because it's so dang convenient. Like, I'm husky, so when I just throw it in the waistband, I can move it around. So if I'm in the car, I move it to the side. I stand up, I just move it. I don't have to worry about clips and belts and moving that. So for me, with all this tactical girth, it's easy to manipulate. So I dig it. I'll always probably go back to it because I haven't found anything that I like more.
Yeah, my stick rolls kind of like my rainbow sandals. They're super easy to put on, slide in, slide out, go do what I have to do, and come back to the house. I don't have to think about it too much. I don't have to, go fishing for socks or figure out what shoes I'm going to wear. But
right.
If anybody's wondering, kind of explain the holster a little bit. So for all the people that care. I have a completely empty handgun here because people get upset if you don't do that. So it has an optics channel cut. So as make sure I'm in view here, the gun slides in the holster. the optic slides right in, it fully seats within the holster. You still get your full grip. You still get your full high 10 grip on there, and it works just like every other sticky holster. We've got 6 sizes, 12 total variations. So every size has a modified version if you're running a light or laser on that gun as well.
I know. I got one of these small ones I haven't used yet, and I'm like, I need to get a gun to fit this now. I got to find a gun to fit the small one. But like I said, I've been using it for, I don't know, 6 months. It's been out like about 5 months, right?
No. Well,
was it March or April?
No, we released this in the summer, so it's only been a few months. Yeah.
Shucks, I've been using it pretty much.
I sent you one a little bit early.
Yeah, everyone's in the chat's like, oh, they're going to take it down. They freak out when you touch a real gun.
Yeah, well,
we're still up so far. Maybe we got away with it. Watch, it's going to go black.
Somebody asked, LG 6 short modified with my Security 9. Yes. With the Viridian E-Series. Yes.
That's Jeff Coleman. It's my buddy Jeff. He saved me the other day. He found some random 10 millimeter in a store for like $23 a box.
Oh, wow.
He picked them up for me because that's why you have the network. You have to network.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. I only use my sticky. I wasted money on a Kydex when I first bought my gun, but it just seems way too bulky to carry inside the waistband. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. I picked up my first sticky holster randomly at a gun show, just because it looked cool. And then I think you guys had an ad on your website at one time of a girl in a bikini with the sticky holster in doing like somersaults. She was doing.
I don't think we would have had a girl in a bikini.
Somebody had a sticky holster.
It might have been like something on Instagram that somebody posted himself, but we would not.
Years ago, like maybe 7-8 years ago. And I'm like, man, if it doesn't fall out, she's doing cartwheels. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll see if I can find it.
You got to make sure, obviously the retention is based on the compression of your waistband. So
100%.
I always tell people, you want more retention, tighten your belt. Because, a normal Kydex holster, you still have to use some sort of energy to draw the gun. There's no latches or levers or like a level 3 holster where you have to disengage a lock. So it's just the amount of, energy that is required to draw the holster from the gun. So
is that what a level 3 holster means? It has like the trigger release where you can push it and it.
Yeah. So so on my Safariland, I actually have a hood and a lock. So I have to disengage the hood, and then there's another button I have to push to disengage the gun from the holster.
Why do they have hoods? Because I've seen that on some holsters. It's
just another level. If you're fighting with a guy for your gun and all he has to do is hit one button.
Yeah.
So there's there's 2 different independent mechanisms that you have to disengage. And that takes time and training. A lot of dry fire work on that. And there's definitely a technique to be able to hit both of them quickly and be able to draw on that. But yeah, that's not an everyday kind of deal for me. For me, it's generally probably 300 days a year. It's a sticky holster. So
what's the smallest caliber you would carry?
Personally?
Yes, personally.
My everyday carry is a 380. It's a Glock 42. So
really,
that's generally what I roll with. Florida, I'm in shorts, t-shirt most of the time, and we talked about over penetration. I like the 380. I mean, a 380 is just a 9x17 instead of 9x19. So it's 9 mil short. It still has 9 to 12 inches of penetration. So I want that round to dump all of its energy into the attacker or the threat instead of over penetrating and going through somebody and possibly hitting, a 12-year-old girl or something like that, somebody that I don't want to be injured. So
Yeah, that's a very valid point. I wonder if I could buy some like low recoil 9 millimeter rounds for that carbine I have. Because I'm always stressed out about that.
Yeah,
You know, our house drill is for her to just barricade in the room with the kids,
yeah,
and then from there it'd have to go through like 4 or 5 walls to get out of the house.
yeah. There's some lightweight rounds. I think civil Liberty Civil Defense. Um, Instead of like a 90 grain hollow point, I think it's more like 50. I want just don't quote me on that,
No, I'll
but
look into it.
it's a super light round, and it fragments on impact, so it's not a whole lot of penetration on that. So if you're looking for a lighter round, I think Hornady might make a light round as well. I think it's called Hornady Critical Defense Light, LITE.
Nice. I'm gonna check it out. So B Noise in the chat has a question. He says, "Does
Yeah.
Sticky have some kind of warranty replacement? If so, what does it cover?" Before you answer, I gotta tell you, my original Sticky holster lasted 4 years before. I mean, it had wear spots where it was almost showing through, and I wore it every day for 4 years. It was like $35. So
Yeah, we do have a lifetime warranty on craftsmanship. So if the binding or the stitching or whatever starts to come apart, just email some pictures, include the logo as well, and we'll either fix or replace it. We do not warranty wear. It's a soft holster. It's going to wear. People generally get 2 to 4 years of everyday carry out of it, but it's like tennis shoes. Sole your shoes. Nike doesn't warranty the soles of their shoes, so we're kind of the same way. It's going to wear down over time, just like any soft good.
yeah,
So I do. On that note, we are experiencing a significant increase in bait and switches and counterfeit items online, especially through the third-party sellers like Amazon and eBay. They actually have our trademarked logo on them.
no kidding.
But we can tell based on the materials and the logo that it's not ours. So if you have a question, send us a picture. The quickest way to tell is our logo is actually in the material. So if you run your hand over it, it's smooth. You won't actually feel the logo.
Yeah.
Most of the counterfeits that we're seeing actually have a Raise logo because it's an emblem or decal that's glued on.
No kidding. Yeah, I bought the last 2 regular sticky holsters, not these optic ones. I bought those on Amazon, but those were legit.
Yeah. So just be aware of that. There's quite a few out there right now, and everything. So.
All right. So look at this. Safeline says he's going to go pick one up for a 92 FS. They have a size for every single gun.
LG6 long for that one.
Look at that. He's the Desert Eagle. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty big.
You can order that through our custom shop. Believe it or not, we have made quite a few of those. So
no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick one up for. I just got on so I sold my car and I made some money, and I bought just a shit ton of 1911s. I just went on this over 2 months. I bought 6 1911s, and I'm like, now I got to get sticky holsters for them. I kind of went a little. My wife is not happy. She opened up the safe and she's like, "What is this?" I go, it's investments."
There you go.
What are you talking about? I go, "That dress you wanted 2.5 years ago. Where is it?" "Oh, I donated it." Exactly.
There
This
you go.
is a tangible asset.
But I don't think you're ever going to win that argument.
No, I bought her some earrings.
There you go. Actually, one of my buddies, I was at a veteran charity golf tournament a few weeks ago, and one of my buddies was walking around a golf shop, and he had a new like $600 driver he was thinking about buying, and he was walking around the store with it, and he had like 4 guys come up to him. "Man, I wish my wife would let me buy something like that." So he just decided, I don't have a wife. For all those poor fellows out there, I'm going to buy it.
What did he get?
A Sims 2, I think was what it was.
Sims 2.
Yeah.
I golf, but I can't afford that high dollar stuff. I still have my old TaylorMades.
Yeah, I actually, I've only actually bought like 3 golf clubs in my entire life. The set I'm rocking right now actually got donated to me from Callaway, so I got some Callaway Big Berthas
Those are
uh,
great clubs.
that were sent to me when I was in Afghanistan. I sent them a picture of me hitting golf balls off of shipping containers, and I wrote them a letter, sent them a picture, and they donated 3 sets of golf clubs to me and my guys. So shout out to
Oh,
Cal.
so they sent them all the way to Afghanistan,
Yeah, they did.
and then you brought them back.
Yeah, they kept the
Gee,
set for me, and then kind of pieced out the other 2 sets to some of the other guys that.
talk about a sand trap. Wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah.
So shout out to Callaway for doing that for me about
Yeah, that's awesome.
10 years ago.
Yeah, Callaway Big Bertha, that's a great brand. I shot some of their 3-woods. Really great.
It doesn't matter what I hit. I'm still not going to be great. So
People think I'm being modest. You know what's funny? Check this out. We'll get back to the chat in a sec, but this is just a random golf story. So I went for a charity event last week. The weather was nice, and I haven't played golf in a year and a half. And I thought about taking some practice swings the night before, and I'm like, look, I'm just going to go out there, drink with my friends, and have a good time and stink it up. I hit every single ball perfect. My short game was great. My drives were all straight.
You were loose.
That and they matched me up with just a random threesome to fill a gap. You know, I wasn't playing with my boss or a president or my customers. It was just some random dudes from the port, and I had the best time. For me, it's all in the head, 100%.
Yeah, I actually played probably the best I've played ever up there. So I think it was, product of just being loose and not thinking about it and just hitting it. So
let's see. Nutty 420 says I won a 1911. You should absolutely get one. Wow. So what is your top 5 1911 videos? It's not a Kimber, tell you that. I had such a disaster with this Kimber repeat I got. It jammed from like the first mag. I ran 300 rounds of 10 mil through it, jammed every single mag.
Yeah.
Horrible. I made a video.
Kimber's got a 500 round break-in period.
That is such a crock of crap because every other 1911 I've shot.
Go buy an Ed Brown or a Nighthawk or something like that, and you're going to be over 1,000 round break-in.
Wilson Combat. I shot a brand new Wilson Combat the next day. Brand new. My buddy got it. Flawless. Out of the box. My Springfield Armory Emissary. Flawless. I mean, they're not the cheaper 1911s, but unless it's coming out of the Kimber custom shop, like their Super Jigari or something like that, it's trash. So I sent it back to Kimber on a Friday. They got it that Monday. They shipped it back to me Tuesday. I had it the following Friday, and I don't know what they did. They sent me a list of all the stuff, but it feels like a staccato now with the slide so smooth. They must have.
They probably polished everything. What kind of malfunction were you having?
That's how it should have came from the factory.
What were you having? Failure to extract? What were you having on that?
Yeah, just constant jams.
Yeah, where the failure to extract, probably spring break-in period. They probably put a used spring in there. Speaking of Kimber, this is the new Kimber Mako 7 they sent to us for holster fitment. And I took this to the range the other day and shot this thing. I am, for everybody too, it's empty. I am really pretty impressed with this gun. It's probably the best factory trigger that I've felt in a gun.
That is a bold statement.
Don't sneeze.
Like CZ.
So I have a CZ, the new CZ P10M.
Yeah.
They sent I'm not really impressed with that trigger.
Have you shot like the Shadow 2?
Yeah, I mean that's a single action hammer fired gun. This is a striker fired polymer gun. This is that I can think of. This is the best out of box factory trigger that I've ever felt.
Nice. And that gun's out?
It is out. They just released it. Yeah. So I'm.
I don't know if I can do another Kimber, man.
It's got a pretty high bore axis on it, but it's a heavy gun. I mean, it when you pick it up, you're like, okay, it's a polymer gun, but it feels like a camera because it's a heavy gun. It is pretty bulky. It's pretty fat. But
Yeah, yeah, you
the
are where you
trigger,
shoot.
the trigger is fantastic on it. And
Nice.
it shoots really flat. I was worried about the bore axis height because normally I shoot Glock, but the slide weight really keeps the muzzle down. I mean, everything was right back on target. I mean, I was impressed with it, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna have to try it out. So Terrell Austin in the chat says, I like Smash Time have a sticky holster to accommodate my tactical girth physique. Nice.
I'm working on that.
T-Sauce, the T-Sauce 1911 is nice. It goes bang every time. But when you put it up against real high-end 1911s, you can tell the finish is a little bit crisper. I mean, it's a little nicer. I mean, you get what you pay for. Banana Bowie, who are these great-looking guys? Good American and Patriots? Well.
Must be on someone else's channel.
Yeah, this is a great channel. My ego is great. Let's see. I've been looking for a Ruger SR 1911, but it might be a while. The Ronin looks great too. The Ronin is a fantastic 1911. The Emissary is fantastic. Springfield makes a solid gun. Ruger, I'll do a review in about a week on the Ruger Custom. That's going to be a good one. Let's see. Anybody else in the chat? Sticky holsters are legit. 16-year CCW. Nice. Let's see. Has an ankle setup. You guys do have an ankle system, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, I don't know if I could do that.
It's a modular system, just like all of our other accessories, like our belly band and everything else like that. Uses the existing sticky holster.
Yeah, I'm looking at them. I think they're cool, but I don't know if I could.
We're gonna carry on the ankle, or
we just wear shorts and t-shirts out here mostly.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But like, weddings, it's a great place. I actually use the ankle biter. I think I touched on this last time. I actually use the ankle biter most of the time to not carry a gun, and I carry accessories. So I actually use our like dual mag sleeve, carry a tourniquet and a spare mag on my ankle, and then knife, flashlight in my pockets, and then I'll carry inside the waistband. So like if I'm going to church, I Glock 19 inside the waistband, Glock 17 mag in, and a tourniquet on my ankle, and Surefire flashlight and pocket knife in the other pocket.
See, that's called being prepared. Milspec J had a question about our meet on October. Yes, in the description of this video, there is a meet details. We're having a Smash Time meet and greet October 9th at Trinity Armory up in Cleveland, Texas. Please come out. It's free breakfast. We're going to have, donuts, my breakfast egg rolls. They're going to be amazing. We do a really great raffle. We'll be giving away a sticky holster. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But we'll be giving away a whole bunch of cool stuff. They don't charge you per gun at this place. It's $15. You shoot all day, as many guns you want, and just have a good time. Bring your family. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, that's October 9th. Please email in the description. Please email me and register. Canik does have a good trigger in their guns too. What do you think about Canik?
I think they're a pretty good gun.
They give you a lot in that box.
Yeah. I mean, for the price point, it's probably one of the best values you're going to get at that price point.
100%. Like the Combat Elite, it's it's around $700, but it comes with all those optic plates. It comes with a toolbox. Comes with the OK Kydex holster out of the box. It's an amazing value.
Yep, I agree.
Teresa says, where's the best website to buy stickies at reasonable prices since Amazon and others have fakes?
Obviously, our website, stickyholsters.com, Optics Planet, Brownells, Midway USA.
I think Optics Planet will run sales too.
Yeah, I think you have to be a member to see the prices too.
Fluffy, did you order the Ruger 1911 GT25? I mentioned you. Not telling, buddy. Not telling. But it's not that one. They said no. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. But they said no on that one. You can't. I don't know. Let's see. Can you shoot 40 Smith & Wesson and 10 mil in 1911? I heard you can, but it's not very good. If you ever want to shoot 40 out of a 10, my good bud Bob that's in the chat said you should do it out of a revolver. It's much safer for the gun. Because, 10 millimeter is the only round I'm still having a hard time finding here. And it's so expensive. Today I paid $280 for 8 boxes. Was it 8 boxes? $31 a box. Yeah, I think it was 8 boxes. Yeah, it's insane. Absolutely insane. Glock forever. Oh, Mike Jones is a Glockophile.
Sounds like a Glock shooter.
Yeah. Eric, you're a Glockophile a little bit.
So I used to be like super anti Glock. I think that was mostly because of like Glock fanboys. But
they are annoying, man.
I started shooting them more. And the more I shot them, the more I liked them. Like 99% of my guns are all stock though. But yeah, I started and I bought one, and then I had 2, and then now I think I have like 5.
I borrowed one for a review. I borrowed a 43X, and I didn't want to shoot it really, but I'm like, hey, I got to review a Glock, and you know what? It's not a bad pistol.
So there's people. A lot of the reason that you either have people that shoot Glock really well or don't, is because Glock has a unique grip angle than most other guns. So if you shoot Glock well, most likely you won't shoot other guns that well unless you are familiar and know that, hey, there's a little bit more of a grip angle, because you tend to force the gun different ways based on that grip angle. So
yeah, because my wife has been recruited for a certain company, and they all shoot Glock 19s. And so while she was going through that, I went and got her a Glock 19, got her a bunch of mags, went to the range, and I shot it fine. And every other round, it would jam on her because she didn't have a real hard grip. And I'm like,
yeah, she limp wristed it.
So yeah, so that brings me to my next point about limp wristing. I think if you pull the trigger, the gun should go bang every time. If you don't, I mean, if you're in the heat of the moment and you just grab your holster and you don't have the perfect grip, is it going to jam on you? Is that reliable? Is that reliability? What about that one cop that had his hand shot and he took one shot and he kept having to rack the slide and then shoot again instead of just switching hand to his offhand,
That's why you practice offhand.
But at the heat of the moment, he wasn't.
Yeah.
So I do a limp wrist test. I got that from Dan, the firearm guy. He does really great video reviews, and he'll do a limp wrist test with every gun he shoots. So he'll turn it sideways and make a face and shoot it limp wristed. And if a gun doesn't pass the limp wrist test, I don't want it. It has to be 1,000% reliable to me. Like if that Kimber, so when I got the Kimber back, I took it to the range. I put 400 rounds of 10 mil through it right away. And it shot every single one perfectly. That's how it should work. Do I still trust it 100%? No.
Yeah.
But I trusted a lot more when I first got it. So I don't know. I that's just kind of how I think. I want it to work.
Keep in mind too is that, all these guns are talking about are production guns, right? So there's still a variance of error in the production of those things. You don't have one gunsmith building a 1911 like some of the high-end 1911 companies where every piece is hand polished and, these guys are cutting springs and pumping out barrels and, so there is a, you drive Ford every day of your life or Dodge or whatever, and then you go to the ocean, buy a brand new one, and it craps out on you. So,
what's funny? I was talking to this guy at a gun show, not at a gun show, but at a gun meetup here in Houston about a week ago, and he's in his 80s, right? He's been into guns since he was like 10, shooting with his dad. I mean, a salty old dog, and he's a master smith for 1911s. And I told him what happened. He goes, "Yeah, it's because they're shit." And I go, "What had been better if it was hand fit?" He goes, "No. In the old days, in the 1940s and 50s, the pieces were so shitty, they had to hand fit them just to make sure each piece would fit. It wasn't because it was so amazing. They had to, because the machining was so crap. They had to kind of find a piece that would match this piece. That's why they were hand fit." And he goes, that's why you had to do so much work to them from the get back in the olden days. And I thought that was funny.
Interesting.
He goes, "Yeah, hand fit doesn't mean anything." I'm like, "Really?" Yeah. They had to, because they were so out of spec. They had to do it by hand to make it fit.
Yeah, they probably weren't running CNC machines in the 40s, huh?
No, probably not. And then, it's funny, you watch these videos in the Philippines, this guy's in a hut making 1911s.
Oh yeah, all the Army surplus 1911s from the Philippines. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing. Let's see. Mike Jones says tolerance is the key to reliability. Kimber Raptor. I don't know. I bought a Kimber. It was a custom carry. It was 45, but it was a small Kimber like 6 or 7 years ago. And the same thing, it was just a nightmare to shoot. It jammed all the time. And I should have learned my lesson. But when I saw the Rapide and how beautiful it was, I got stuck. I got stuck on it. And plus, I got a really good deal on it. But the MSRP is $1,600. If you're paying over $1,000 for any gun, it should work out of the box.
Yeah. I don't think I have a handgun close to that.
I'm sure you got some cool stuff.
I'm kind of a basic dude. I run stock stuff on, I don't have any tricked out pistols. Some of my rifles are pretty nice, but I run they're a tool, if I had a handgun that expensive, probably wouldn't leave the safe. I'd be too upset with myself if I scratched it,
Yeah. You know what? I think Tim Kennedy had a whole philosophy of thought on that. And he goes, "Are you a collector or a protector?" He goes, "A protector will buy 3 or 4 of the same style gun, practice and get good. A collector buys a whole bunch of different off the wall stuff. No shaming on it, but they practice they're not great with one gun. They're just okay with all guns."
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like every time I go to the range, I always practice with my XDM Elite because that's my carry and I should be good with it. And now I got to the point where I could bring it up and I hit that red dot 9 times out of 10 first shot. But you're right. It's a huge learning curve. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat shoot carry with a red dot on their pistol? Because I think that's the wave of the future. It's catching on. Everybody I know now is either getting their guns milled out or just buying. And almost all the guns are coming optics ready. Even though like a Ruger Max 9, that cheap 9mm is optics ready out of the box.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't cost them. I mean, once they retool, it doesn't cost the manufacturers a whole lot more money to manufacture them. So, but they can sell it for a lot more.
Let's see. Blazer aluminum 10mm, 27 for 200 grain. Ooh, that's not too bad. But once you pay shipping, though, that's up to like $32 a box. God, that's pricey. I actually bought a Colt 1911 and 9mm that I've been shooting this week. And God, that gun shoots amazing. And it's a lot cheaper. I just can't pay it. So you don't shoot any kind of high dollars? Come on, Eric. You don't have like any kind of custom?
I'm trying to think what my nicest handgun is, or expensive handgun.
Most of the people I know that buy Glocks end up changing everything on the Glock.
The nicest handgun is probably the Shadow Systems MR 920 I just picked up. It's like their baseline. It's still pretty Gucci for my stuff. I mean, I run stock everything. I mean, VP9, MMP, the original MMP, not the 2.0. All my Glocks are stock. I do have an Apex trigger in my M&P. But yeah, I pretty much, the only thing I really do to a gun is I'll probably stipple it. But
No kidding.
that's about it. I don't change too many things in the gun. Rifles, you know, I got a pretty high end hunting rifle. It's kind of my baby. I'm real careful with that. But
what is it now? Now you got to tell everyone.
I have a Christensen Ridgeline.
What it's MSRP on one of those?
I think like 14 or 1600.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice. Is it bolt action?
7 mil. Remington mag, not the 08. And I got a Vortex 5 to 25 front focal plane scope on there.
I love Vortex scopes.
Yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff. American made as well. So big on that.
Are all Vortex, is it all component American made or just assembled here?
No, I don't know about that. I mean, most high-end glass is coming from Germany or Japan.
Right.
That I'm trying to remember. My loophole rep telling me this years ago, but I'm pretty sure most of it comes from Germany or Japan. You know, you want high grade aluminum, not the crappy Chinese stuff, of course. But that's by far probably the nicest. I mean, I have a Mark 18 down the fence Mark 18 SBR. It's probably my nicest.
That's pretty nice.
My nicest besides hunting rifle that I have. But yeah, all my handguns are stock. VP9 stock. All my Glocks are stock.
Yeah, I never understood that. Everybody I know that buys a Glock changes the trigger, changes the barrel. They'll do.
That's fun. You know, there's so many things. There's so many things that you can do to a Glock too. I mean, I think that's a lot of the allure about Glocks and everything is that you can take a $500 Glock and put $1,500 worth of parts on it. So
nice. Mike McClune says Vortex has a great and awesome warranty. I bet. Ross says some Vortex are Chinese. Their lower end stuff probably is from China. But then again, China, the quality of stuff coming out of China has gotten really good. Like, I had some friends go over to China and from mainland, and I said, "Hey, when you're over there, buy me one of these fake Rolexes." Because the stuff that goes to Singapore and Philippines, that's like their grade B. The stuff that gets to New York is like the grade C, D stuff. And so I paid $240 for a fake Rolex, and it is amazing. I was in Vegas with it, and the guy.
You also have to look yourself in the mirror every day, knowing that you're wearing a fake Rolex.
No. I just always wanted one for shits and giggles. I don't wear it. I mean, I've worn it to some events, like big events, and everyone just assumes, well, unless they know me and know I'm poor, they're like, "Oh, this guy can't afford a Rolex." But a lot of people that have. So it was funny. I was at a big event for the rodeo here in Houston, and the guy next to me had the real Rolex version of what I had the fake of. And I was like, I wonder if I could get him to switch, if he would know. No, but they looked identical. I mean, the timing was identical. All the lettering was identical. I mean, the fakes coming out of China are amazing.
Yeah,
like
there's fake everything coming out of China. That's the problem.
Right. They don't really care too much about patent infringements. Can you imagine if China made and we were importing a bunch of guns and stuff from China? It would just be it'd be nuts. WhatsApp says all Vortex is China. Vortex, Hollow Sun, and Sig Red Dots are all made in the same factory. I don't know.
To my knowledge, I think the Hollow Sun Sig partnership is no more.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong on that.
I don't know. So were you going to come out for the NRA show?
Yeah. Sure
did
was.
You make it out, or did you just cancel it?
No, we just canceled it. I mean, they canceled it a week prior. It's what happens when all the major gun manufacturers decide not to show up.
Yeah, like out here, we're having an event called Break Bulk. It's a huge logistics event. Usually there's 20, 25, 30,000 people to show up for it. And the guy was trying to get us to buy a 25,000 booth space. And he goes, Oh well, we're expecting about 3,000 attendees, and he sent us the floor plan. Everything is squished into one hall. Nobody's going to that. I got to go Wednesday
Yeah,
just to show up. But
I'm just hoping Shot Show goes.
man, can do you think if they cancel it again, if they're just gonna Shot Show is just gonna go
I don't
away?
know if they can afford to cancel it.
Because that'll be the second time in a row or third time.
I don't. A second, I don't think they can afford to not have Shot Show financially.
I don't know. Vegas is weird, man.
Yeah,
They
they
should move it.
well, they just sent out. They are, you know, they're thinking about their COVID procedures right now. So we just got an email about that. So
Well, what's going to kill them is if they do that COVID passport, because people are going to be like, "Man, I don't want to go."
yeah, well, a lot of the major companies, are mandating that their employees to go have to get vaccinated. So
Really,
mhm.
that's no bueno.
Yeah, and some companies they just decide, hey, liability wise, not worth the risk. That's what happened with NRA. You know,
Yeah. Well, it's like this. If you're going to say I need to get vaccinated, are you going to sign a waiver? So if there's ever any kind of repercussion of the vaccination, then is this company going to pay for my medical bills?
yeah. Well, that's to be decided in courts many years from now.
I know. In about 5 years, there's gonna be those 800 commercials. If you took the vaccine between January and February, call 1-800. Your
Yeah,
ass is dead.
yeah, yeah.
Look, it's just how I
Same,
think
yeah.
about it. I say, hey man, it's gonna be the flu. People are just gonna get it. You know, the
I don't think
government
it's going away.
the government doesn't care about you that much. If they did, they'd break down my door and take all the Twinkies out of my cupboard because they're going to say, "Hey, you're fat. You're costing us a lot of medical bills. Stop
Yeah,
eating all this food, you big fat fatty, and take all my food out." They don't. They don't. Or they don't shut, like, how many drunk drivers kill people? They don't. You know what? They tried to ban alcohol, didn't work out too well for them. Just saying. Just
yeah.
saying.
Interesting times we're living in.
It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. Let's see. SEMA. I love SEMA show. I've been to SEMA show like 3 times. I love it. It's so much fun. Hmm. So when you say they can't afford to not have SHOT Show, do you think they just have to have it, or?
I mean, I don't. Just pure speculation. I just think it's such a revenue generator. And they expanded. They expanded. Um, you know, the it's. We'll see. I hope it goes.
Yeah. Plus, people skipped it last year, and I don't know about you, but I almost was looking forward to this big conference in Houston. And usually everyone dreads going because you stand at a booth for 4 days. It's really boring.
Yeah, some of the people who've been around the industry generally dread and hate SHOT Show. But after not going for like 2 years and not seeing people,
Right.
people that I'm with in the industry and that you know, my counterparts in other country or other companies, a lot of our job is talking to people, networking, and you have a lot of good friends, and you kind of like you get spoiled. You're like, oh, you see the same people, 6, 7, 8 times a year. And you're like, oh, we got to go SHOT Show again. But then when you don't see them at SHOT Show for a year and then another year, it's kind of like, because I've been a couple things. Everyone just says like, it's so good to see you. How you been? Like, it's good that
Yeah.
we all can be together again. Because the firearms industry is it's enormous, but it's super small.
Yeah. You
It's
don't
the
burn bridges and stuff like
same
that.
people, the same, your buddy one day will be at Ruger, and then a year later he, might have gotten poached and now he's working at, Vertex, or, and then he goes there and he's working for one of the major distributors, or, whatever it is. So you always see the same people, different roles, but you're always seeing the same people,
Yeah. Similar in my industry. I do logistics, international logistics, and um, you'll be at one carrier one day. I mean, since I moved to Texas, I've had 5 jobs in 12 years.
Wow.
I know. And I was like, wow, that's horrible. But you have to keep moving up. You have kids, you have
Yeah, of
priorities, you
course,
need that pay scale. So now I'm
of course.
I'm pretty much where I want to be at. So I'm great where I'm at. But it's the same thing. It's a big industry, but locally everybody knows everybody, and you just don't burn bridges because you never know where they're going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, you might be the guy you burned a bridge with, you might be interviewing with for your job 5 years down the road. So
It's happened.
yeah,
It's actually happened to me, but I didn't burn the bridge.
yeah,
But man, it's
and
rough.
there's a lot of there's a lot to be said for your network too. You develop a reputation, and you know if you're looking to make a move or whatever, another company's looking for a spot, and first thing they're going to do is pick up the phone and say, hey, do you know this guy? What's he like? How long
Right.
have you known him? You've worked with him, for him, you've worked adjacently, see the guy that we want on our team. You know what I mean? So you never know what tomorrow holds. And a lot of people, business is the most ruthless thing that you can be. I mean, people, say, nature is cruel and ruthless. Well, so is business. I mean, almost to that level. I mean, people will cut your knees out, to make that extra buck. And, one thing I always tell myself is it's business. It's not personal, right? How you conduct yourself, what your character is, even if somebody does burn you, there's a right way to go about that and a wrong way, because you don't know who that guy knows. Right. So,
Right.
it's better to take the high road in pretty much every case there
Yeah.
is. So
Bob in the chat says, same people, different golf shirt. That's pretty true. You have no idea.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so funny because that's 100%. Let's see. Transportation logistics is a smaller world than most people think for sure. 100%. You know what I do notice when I look people up, because I do sales, right? So when I want to find someone at a company I want to talk to, I I can hunt them down online, and I'll
Mhm.
find their email address and I'll email them directly. And I notice a lot of people in the firearms industry don't really have a LinkedIn set up.
Yeah. I have LinkedIn, and I don't go on there terribly often. It's becoming more and more like Facebook. Um,
Unfortunately, yeah,
um, it's a professional networking thing. So I go on there, periodically, but I rarely will post anything. Um, I like to see it for, people in the industry that I know they got a promotion or something like that, give them a shout out and stuff like that.
yeah,
So, but it is a great way to network, to find, networks or whatever. Hey, maybe I had a meeting with so-and-so. I look him up LinkedIn. Hey, he's got 300, similar connections or whatever.
yeah. You try to find a mutual connection and get an introduction. That's a good one. But yeah, man, that's what I do for a living. Like today, my main office said, "Hey, you need to find these two people," and by lunchtime, I had their cell phone numbers.
Yeah.
I just track people down. It's what I do.
And I'm sure it's like that in your industry too, in the firearms industry. If you know, like 4 people, you can get from those 4 people, you can get anybody's contact in the industry.
Just about, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's some
Well, I don't know.
heavy hitters that have been in the industry a long time that have fat Rolodexes. So
You dated yourself, man. I don't think anybody uses Rolodex anymore. Come on, bro.
4,000 contacts in their iPhone.
There you go. There you go. Rolodex. People half this. Well, I'm pretty sure my subscribers know what a Rolodex is, but no one else does. Well, Rolodex, what's that? I don't know nothing about no Rolodex.
Used to be the first thing you take off your desk when you left the company.
I take all the cards out. I have one somewhere.
Oh, I actually have a pile of rubber banded business cards, probably that big, on my desk.
I can't even tell you.
I should get a Rolodex actually for all my business cards that I collect.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny when they first came out that cam scanner, I started taking pictures of them, but it wasn't a very good program, so
Mm-hmm.
it always messed the names up and switched the numbers around. So I threw out the cards after I took the picture, and then when I was looking through them, they're missing numbers. There's letters where the numbers are supposed to be. I'm like, oh shit! Then I was missing like 200 cards.
We actually have a program where you can scan a business card and it'll throw it in your contacts.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, where is my Smash Time business card? Where is it? Here it is. It's somewhere. Check this out. So I thought I'd be professional if I went to some
Oh, there
place.
you go. QR code.
Put the QR code. That's for Instagram, and then I got one for that one. And I have one with my personal phone number and email and all that. And I have just one I hand out to people. Trying to church it up, man. Trying to church it up. Trying to look good. Trying to be respectable, like.
Yeah, Shot Show had the like badge scanners a few years ago. Like you take a picture,
Yeah,
badge or whatever, and I don't know how well everybody still hands out business cards.
yeah. It's just old school. And what I did too. Mr. Big Kid is in here. I'm sure he has a pretty sweet card. What I did is I got as thick as possible. So when you hand it to somebody, the first thing they do is go, oh.
Yeah.
I also have some plastic ones I made.
Is it standard size though?
It's standard size.
Because what I hate is when someone hands me a business card that's not standard size. Because when I rubber band it, it
sticks out.
Yeah.
Of course, it's standard size. Or I get a lot of European ones. Like European ones are usually much taller for some reason. A little bit, and they don't quite fit, and it drives me up the wall. But that's how I roll, man. I'm in sales, baby. That's how I do it. Heck, even my cell phone, I keep business cards in my cell phone.
That's smart.
You always have to be prepared. Always.
That's smart. I have like one business card in my wallet. When I go to shows, I take a stack, but yeah.
Dude, come on, man. All right, let's see what's in the chat. Felicia, do you have a sticky holster? Felicia is a phenomenal subscriber. She's always very contributive. I'm sure she has one. Bob Goodwin says he bought a card scan. Best $99 he ever spent. Heck, man, you want a card? Come out October 9th. October 9th, Trinity Armory. Man, so the last meet I had at this place, it was great because the owner brought out an MP5 and a Uzi full auto and just let us use them. So everyone started immediately unloading their pistols. We needed ammo for the priorities. And man, I had a 500 round box of 9 in the truck. I was saving. I wasn't going to use it. I'm like, I'll just go get it.
It's about 2 minutes of fun with an MP5.
That MP5 shoots so well. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've got one here too.
There's almost no muzzle rise to that.
Yeah.
It's an amazing piece of machinery.
It's a nice gun for sure. The Chris Vector is the fastest shooting machine gun I've ever shot.
Do they make that in full auto?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm borrowing one.
It's about a second and a, it's probably around a second and a half to dump 33 rounds on that thing.
No way.
Yeah.
That's too expensive. I'm borrowing one next week with a can, and it's 45 though. But it's decked out, has an EO tech and all that. And
it's a great Chris Vector and 45 with the can is probably top tier home defense gun right there.
Don't get me too excited because he's selling it too, but I can't afford it.
That's would probably be my dream home defense gun right there. Yeah.
Don't tell me stuff like that. Because he's selling, I think he's selling it for like 2,300 with the EO tech, and he has some kind of other red dot deal on it. But
it's got a can on it too.
I don't know if he's selling. Well, he's not selling the can, but it looks so cool. Oh, I have a picture of it. Hold on.
No, you got to run it with a can, man. It's the only way to run it.
Dude, I'm telling you, I can't wait to shoot this thing. It really looks cool. Like, hold on, I put a picture on my community tab. There.
It's got a magnifier on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. But I took this picture, then he put the can on it, and I was like, holy smokes. And then he let me take like 2 shots, but he had to go and I had to go. And I was like, now you bring this out in this beautiful suitcase. I'm like, why'd you bring this out first? I'm out here shooting your Canic. I don't want to shoot a Canic. I want to shoot this, you know?
Well, if you get it, put a can on it because it makes it that much better.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna bring it to the meet.
Yeah.
The last time we had a Smash
Take
Time
that
meet,
magnifier off of it, though.
What's that?
I said I'd take that magnifier off of it, though.
Why?
We need a magnifier on a 45 caliber carbine.
That's a good point.
It's extra weight.
That's a very good point. It is heavy. That's a very good point. I'm gonna talk some smack to him now.
And if you use it for a home defense gun, get like an aim point T2 so you can leave the optic on. You don't have to turn it on in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, because the EOTechs, they don't just turn on it, right?
It's got like, I think 500 hours of battery, but like a aim point, you can leave on the medium setting for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, who else? I was reading about one. It said it has like a 5-year life. I don't think it was Trigicon.
The SRO or the MRO.
Yeah, I think something like that. It has like
the MRO and the
25,000 hours or something.
Yeah, they have like 2.5 years of battery life on medium power.
That's
so
crazy.
You just leave it on, and that way just set an alarm in your phone for like every 1.5 years to change the batteries.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, every Christmas I change every single battery in the house.
There you go.
Flashlights, the works. I don't know. It's kind of like an OCD thing. Just I can't stand picking up something and it not working.
Yeah.
You know, drives me nuts. Mike Jones looking to Ruger's Takedown series. So, what's your favorite gun brands besides Glock?
I'm a lover of most brands. Everybody's invited to the party. That's the one thing I love about guns is every single gun gives you a different experience. You know,
right?
It's one of the great things about the sport and about firearms and things like that. I mean, you can pick up, you know, I can have a Glock 19, a Canic, a VP9, an MP, and they're all going to give me different shooting experiences. You know, and there's so much that you can do training wise to change things up, to make it interesting. You know, if you're static or bored shooting, then you're not being creative enough, or you know, things like that. And you know, and then you get into shotguns and, you know, trap, skeet, sporting clays. You know,
we're doing that in a couple of weeks. We're going to go shoot some sporting clays.
You know, rifles. I mean, that's the great thing about it is every gun is a different experience every time.
Yeah, this guy today, I was having a discussion with him. He goes, "Oh, I don't like shooting pistols. They're boring." I go, "What kind of pistols do you shoot?" I have a great time shooting pistols.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right. Every one is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, even
fun things too, like to do with, you know, if you're lucky enough to be outside, you can do the tree, you know, and have that competition to see you can, or like they even make like battleship targets for like indoor ranges. You and your buddy play battleship, shooting guns.
Dude, let me tell you about that dueling tree. So the last meet we did wasn't at Trinity. It was at a Renaissance Gun Club, and he had a bunch of steel targets, right? And I didn't know we were going to do stations. I just thought, you know, it's a bunch of guys. We're going to have a barbecue lunch and shoot guns and just hang out. No, the guy putting it on, the owner, says, no. We're going to do this station and this station. Everyone line up. And so there's some people in the chat that were there, and it was the most humbling experience of your life. Because if you just shoot paper and you don't shoot under pressure, it's a whole different world. And so the first station I aced. So shock to me. I got a great score. I think I only missed one out of like 20 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Great. The second one, there was a dueling tree in the beginning. I couldn't get past that goddamn dueling tree. 2 mag reloads, and I couldn't get past. And it wasn't the big one Terran Tactical has. It was the real dueling tree. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, God, it was humbling. And then this 18-year-old kid with a red dot staccato wrecked that course in record time. He goes, yeah, I just started shooting like a month ago.
He doesn't have any bad habits.
Yeah, it's all that Call of Duty. Punk.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do, even on an indoor flat range. I mean, you got to think about it too. What's your purpose there? You know, are you just going there and you're just going to have some, have some fun, or can you develop some games, or can you, incorporate some things to actually make it as realistic or scenario based as you can. A lot of those, high end ranges that have the automated systems, you can preset distances, or all the way forward or all the way back. Try, hey, put it all the way back and hitting the home button and start shooting that paper target as it's closing in on you.
That's what that is. I'm so stupid. I was at this range up in and they had an electric keypad next to me, and I just thought it was to bring it in and out, but there was extra buttons. I bet you that's what it was. You could like program it.
Yep.
What a maroon. I should have known that.
So, work on stuff, single-handed shooting, off-handed shooting, have your buddy put some snap caps or empty shell casings in your magazine. So, hey, as you're shooting, and they're not expecting a malfunction, hey, work on clearing those malfunctions.
Trust me, after I bought that Kimber, I was clearing malfunctions. I'm a freaking pro now. Pro at clearing malfunctions. That's what you do. You buy a Kimber Rapide and you will learn how to clear malfunctions nonstop.
I just did a short video for our YouTube and our channel. People who have small children, how many people have practiced or thought about how they're going to employ their firearm while holding a small child.
Right.
So you have to pick them up, or you're in a home defense and you're holding one of your kids, or I think there was just a shooting at a grocery store, right? You're in a grocery store, you got to pick up one of your kids and move.
Right.
The guy comes around the corner. How many times have you practiced one-handed shooting while holding something?
Yeah, there's a video by a YouTuber years ago called Patriot Nurse, and she goes through that exact scenario of a baby and shooting it at once. And I was like, whoever even think about that? But when you think about it, it's like, yeah, that would probably happen.
That's probably the most realistic scenario for most people out there. It's real cool to get, your par timer out or your shot timer and stand in your perfect stance, right? And you wait for that little beep and get your sub-second draw, right? But how many times in a real life situation are you be standing perfectly, exactly, fundamentally how you're supposed to be standing, right?
100%. I want to do like Police Academy. I want to be Tackleberry in Police Academy when he's walking down that little city road and he starts shooting all those targets. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Were you around when that movie came out? You're pretty young.
No. I don't know. When did that come out?
In the 80s, early 80s.
Well, I was born in the early 80s, so.
Police Academy is brilliant.
I might have been a baby.
You should watch it, man. If you've never seen the original Police Academy.
I have. It's been probably a decade, but.
Yeah.
Tatiana Whitlock actually has done on Trigger Time TV. I think she did a demonstration about that. And then I think Fieldcraft Survival has done some videos. They did one that was pretty good about drawing and concealing a firearm while wearing a baby carrier.
Oh, wow.
So, if you have, for the moms out there, or the dads out there that, you have a young child and you're actually wearing them on, where you carry your draw, your garments, all those things are going to change because of that situation, right? So,
yeah, 100%.
But you start small, like just not holding anything and just, and blading, pretending like you're using your body to shield your child and shooting one-handed. And then as you progress, start throwing in, a pillow and then maybe a sandbag or a backpack full of books or something like that to give you a more realistic, scenario-based thing. And you don't have to do that all the time. Do it the last 10 minutes, your last box of ammo. Do stuff like that,
Yeah,
fundamentals.
that's why I want to take some of those force on force classes because I think that's more real world than just, like you said, standing in the box, hearing the buzzer, shooting. Come on.
Those sim rounds will be are self-correcting. Let's just put it that way. You come out, you pie a corner and your foot's sticking out and you take a couple of rounds to your big toe. You won't be sticking your foot out around that corner so much anymore.
Right.
Or around that barricade, and you see all these people shooting around barricades and their knees sticking out. Well, you do that. Take a couple sim rounds to your kneecap, and you'll tuck that knee back in behind cover real quick.
So a bunch of years ago, I was at a kid's birthday party at a paintball game. And I've never played paintball before, but I'm a gun guy. I have ARs. I'm a cool guy. These little 10-year-olds destroyed me.
Well, that's a different game too,
I was so horrible at this freaking game. I got lit up 5 times in a row. I'm like, I'm done. The kid's like, you okay, mister? I'm like, shut up.
Did you play like a speedball course with all the inflatable barriers and stuff?
No, it was like an old West town with fake facades. And then they all had the AR type paintball guns. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
God, did I suck that day. I did get to shoot a couple little kids in the head.
I think Tippmann used to make
not bad.
Like those AR style.
Yeah, I think they were Tippmann.
Yeah.
But that's a humbling experience too. If you think that's why I'm like, hey man, tactical girth is cool, but if you can't get out of your own way, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
spray and pray, Jeff says. Suppressive fire.
And I think that was my problem. Because I was trying to pick my shots, and these little kids are just going, and they're just destroying me. It was a rough day for me. And I think those little suckers were freezing their paintballs too, because some of them didn't pop, and they hurt like a son of a gun.
Frozen paintballs don't fly straight.
What did I know?
Gobstoppers are much better.
I was too busy ducking. I got shot in the butt, the arms. I got wrecked. It was a bad day for me. Let's see. All right, Santi's out. But so what is the future plans for Sticky Holster?
Just continue what we're doing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. We always have new stuff somewhere in the R&D pipeline. Some stuff stays in for 2 or 3 years, or some stuff we're like put on the back burner. It's not the right time. But I mean, all of our new stuff and our accessories, I mean, they've performed phenomenally, but our bread and butter is still the holster. Right. So
yeah, 100%.
Our goal really is to be in every gun store in America. I don't think there's a gun shop that you can walk into where you don't see a that Black Hawk holster in it. Every gun shop is going to have a Black Hawk holster in it, right?
Yeah.
So that's our goal, is to stay true to ourselves and what has brought this company so far. Keep doing that, not compromise ourselves, keep making quality American-made products, and every now and then release something that we feel that can be disruptive. We really felt the Optics Ready holster was a disruptor in the industry, and it's performed phenomenally. So super happy about that. But just continue what we're doing. We may in the future be branching out a little bit to some other things within the industry, just not in concealed carry.
I tell you, I love this thing.
We appreciate that. We really do.
And this lasted a lot longer than the original one. You guys must have redid that, because my old one I wore off in like a month. So this one's getting there, but I love it. I wear it every day.
Appreciate it.
fits like a glove too. You know, I was kind of worried. Like when you first put it in, it's kind of tight and there's like a little bit of a gap, but after it wears in, it's just it fits.
Yeah, there's a, your shoes when you get them, they're stiff, or a new pair of jeans or whatever, and they start breaking in a little bit and start molding to the gun a little bit more and everything.
But I couldn't be happier with it, because that's a lot heavier than the old XD 9, the Mod 2 that I had. This gun's quite a bit heavier, and I was worried if it would stay in as well, but I mean, with my size, I have so much retention on this waistband that ain't going nowhere. I can fall down a cliff and lose my shoes, and that gun is going to still stay in that holster.
You'd be surprised the amount of emails that we get from people that were wearing our holster, got in a motorcycle accident, and it was still there. Actually, I'm not going to say, I don't know if they want this public, but one of our largest dealers, the owner of that stopped on the side of the road to help a broken down vehicle and was struck by another vehicle and was thrown a long ways. Spent a lot of time in the hospital recovering, and the paramedics actually had to take the gun and sticky holster off him when they found him.
I totally believe it.
We get emails almost monthly from people that put a gun and sticky holster on the top of their car and drove to work and got there and it was still there.
No, I would never do that.
So
knock on wood, but I wear it so much. It takes a couple days to get used to, but heck, I'm out there playing with my kids, rolling around on the floor until I roll onto it. Then I'm like, oh crap, I have a gun. That hurt, but you just forget it's there. So it was a great product. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Like always, I really appreciate your time and being able to talk to your followers about our products and everything. I really appreciate it. So
I'm really bummed out you didn't make it to Houston. I had this. We were going to go out to that steak place, man. Taste of Texas. For all you Houstonians, Taste of Texas. That's where I take everybody to impress them.
Gotcha. Well, I got some friends out in Houston area, so
they know all about it then.
Well, I'm sure I'll be out there, if not on work, on a personal trip. So,
yeah, look, Nutty helps hold your pants up too. It's true. It is true. Nice. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate